All right, review number 2 of today. What is today? I don't know, January, something like that. 11th, 12th, 13th. I've lost track of the days. Regardless, had to mix it up a little bit on this one, so went a totally different direction, went back into the vault a little bit. This is a review of Tim McGraw's debut album, aptly titled Tim McGraw. So, for those of you who know me well, you know that I probably listen to a fair amount of country. I don't talk about it all that much, but it has become, I would say, over the past, 2, 3, 4 years, one of the genres that I go to when I am just looking to kind of kick back, have something on in the background. So as a result, I've really grown to enjoy it a lot more. So I figured I would go back, take a look at one of the artists who has had a very prolific career. The amount of music that Tim McGraw has put out is really kind of astounding, and figured, to the point I made on one of my other reviews, I'd start where he started. And I will say, quick note to Tim McGraw, the man has aged incredibly well over what is almost a 30-year period from his debut album in, I think it was 93, I want to say, something like that. So we're coming up on 30 years. Tim looks better than he did on his debut. Part of that may have been some rough 90s style choices, but regardless. All right, let's get into the album. Headline for me is this album ultimately really just didn't hit for me. This gets a 2.5 out of 5 across all the dimensions. It, to me, was a quintessential 90s country album, and it sounded as such. I think where this album really falls down for me is that, exactly that, it is quite one note. He really sticks within his genre, and I guess that was probably, I'm guessing that was probably a little bit more reflective of kind of the approach to country music, certainly in the early to mid 90s. So you really don't see Tim McGraw play with a lot of different musical styles, and certainly don't see him actually play with a lot of different lyrics either. I wondered how many times he could talk about a woman leaving him in different metaphors. She was leaving a mailbox, she was leaving a TV on the wall, she was leaving all kinds of stuff. He was finding stuff under his hat, whatever. So to me, it was just a lot of just real, almost like tropiness to it, that I can try to appreciate the straightforward nature of, hey, we're going to explore relationships, we're going to explore love, but it just wasn't all that creative, I didn't think. And after a while, it just becomes a little bit repetitive. Like, look, don't get me wrong, put something out there. I'm all for a straightforward song about love, about relationships, and actually boiling it down to its simplicity. But when you just keep hitting that same note over and over again, ultimately it just kind of falls flat for me. I couldn't really get into the album all that much as well. It was kind of some nice background listening, if you will. What was interesting, though, thinking about how timeless this was, I could see with some slight tweaks this kind of fitting into or being released today, which maybe then speaks to a little bit of how country music has or has not evolved quite as much over a 30-year period. And maybe that's something we should explore a little bit further. But anyway, that was just my hot take coming off of Tim McGraw's album. So again, not one that really got me excited. I'm going to continue to explore the country genre a little bit more, and we'll see if we can find some stuff that ultimately gets me a little bit more excited. Maybe we'll have to explore some of the more classic, kind of call it top albums in the genre. I'm sure we'll find some good stuff. Anyway, stick with me. Thanks for listening. Catch you guys later.